Hey, just wanted to do a little quick update video. Today we are working on the super splitters. These guys see a lot of use, and so it's time to go through them, and I gotta go down and pick up some parts. This one needs a new return spring. I'll probably get 2 new return springs, and this bearing right in here needs a new one of those. Otherwise, I'm just kind of cleaning things up. This is the piece that kind of goes under the I-beam like that. Mounts in there. This is an HD model. You can tell because it has 2 bearings on each side. This is a J model, and the reason you can tell is because it only has the 1 bearing. You can see the hole there. There's that little bearing. I'll clean that up. Looks like that one still is good, but I'll clean it up. And this one, this little pole keeps breaking, so I'm just gonna get another one. I'll bring you back when we're more into it. Oh yeah. It's not really a bearing anymore. Let me blow this out and we'll take a look at it. All right, as you can see, I get this cleaned up, and yeah, that's no good. Been running like that for a while. So, like I said, we'll get a new one of these. And then otherwise, I probably just want to clean up, just degrease everything. You can just see it. It's hard to see, I guess, but yeah, there you go. It's just kind of greasy. Up in here. There's 3 bearings on this one. I gotta go through and see if those are okay. But I gotta just kind of clean things up, and then I can just assess if there's any other parts that I need. Maybe the guides, side-to-side guides on this, which are right down in each corner. I gotta check those. Otherwise, it's not much more to it. So I'm gonna take this cover off, kind of clean things up. I'd pressure wash it. We got a new addition to the shop here, Power America steam cleaner. This would say, I'll show you. Been wanting one of these for a long time. This is an old one, but that's a 1440 diesel powered, diesel fired, 220 powered, 240. There's the plug. But anyway, yeah, so we got this earlier in the week from a friend of mine. He got a new one, and then this wasn't shiny enough for his shop, so it's definitely shiny enough for my shop. But we would use this, but it's winterized, so can't use that. So we'll do it by hand. I'll set you up on a stand, and you can I'll throw it in fast motion. I'm sure you don't want to watch me degrease everything by hand, but just kind of clean it up, see where we're at. Got some cardboard down on the lift. Kind of collect some of the junk. And enough rambling, let's get to it. Cleaned up. I mean, we don't need it perfect, but just so we can see what we're doing. This is the spring assembly here. You can see it's just shot. And this side, they're supposed to be the same length. This side's broken off. So we'll loosen this up. And so we can put a new spring on there. And then everything else looks okay. I cleaned this up in here. There's those 3 bearings. They look fine. There's not a lot of play. This after a lot of use, this pivot there can get kind of loose, but that's pretty tight. These main bearings look good. Everything else is okay on this one, so we will get a new bearing for this. We'll get these new stops, just 2 of them, one on each side, and that's about it. Oh, and the springs. So, and then we'll work on that one over there shortly. We got a lot of wood to split, probably, well, a lot for us, probably 20 cords or something. Some people that's not very much, but for us, decent amount. There it is. So we'll get that all taken apart, get 2 new springs on there, and then we'll be good to go. All right, let's take a look at this one. I got the cover off. Get these little spider web things. So yeah, we were talking earlier about the difference between this one And this one, this is the HD. And like I was saying before, this one on these slides that go under the I-beam have 2 bearings, where the other one only has 1. Another way to tell is in here, pretty hard to see, but you can kind of see there's 3 bearings in there. You got 1, 2, 3. And on this one, it just has, this is a J model, so it just has the 1 bearing on the slide underneath, and then up here it just has the 1 bearing to push down the ram. So that's the difference between the two, the HD and the J model. This one pretty straightforward, not much to do on this one. We'll replace these bumpers. This one seems okay. This one is not there anymore. We'll clean up this bearing. Might replace it while I'm getting parts. Otherwise, spring looks good on this one. A little different design on this one too. They have the springs going back to these chains, where on the other one it went back to like a 45-degree angle gusset. So I'm not going to do too much with cleaning things up on this one. I mean, it's got its normal grime, but yeah, I mean, these springs probably could be better than that. We added the, this was a shorter unit, so this bottom wheel assembly used to mount right up here. We made up this dog bone, put the production table on it with a full height leg, so that way it matched that one and we weren't way down on the ground. This one was, you know, a lot lower when we first picked it up. It also had an electric motor on it, and it happened to have this one floating around, so we threw this on. So for pretty short money, we was able to make another machine. But otherwise, I think the flywheels on this are the same weight. They might be a smidge different. Let me measure them real quick. I think I remember reading that one is 100 pounds and the other one is 75. But let's see what the height of that is. Looks like just a 18 1/4. Let's see what this is. 18 1/4. Yeah, so I think they're probably the same. The width, 1 3/4. Yeah, 1 3/4. So I think the flywheel size is the same. There's one other model. It's the SE Special Edition model. I was looking at their website and they were saying that was for much heavier, like elm stuff that's pretty hard to get through. And it was basically like the HD model with the similar bearings and everything, but I believe they made the flywheels bigger, the engine bigger, and then also there was a gear reduction, like a big aluminum gearbox on this side where the belts went to for the extra pushing power. But anyhow, I think this one we're gonna get springs for it, bumpers, new bearing while we're at it. And obviously the major problem is this little rod here. I could probably make one, but easier just to buy it. Take that cotter pin out of there, pop it out, and we'll do the oil change on this as well. Everything else looks good. And there's the cotter pin. We'll put a new one of those on. It's a little too big anyway. And we got a washer in here. Other than that, that's all there is to it. Like I said, I could probably make one of these, but they'll have them pretty cheap. Other than that, I'll just kind of clean things up. That's the wrong bolt. We'll put another bolt in there so it's not that. A little different design on the pusher head too. These. I don't think it really makes much of a difference, but like I said, we'll just kind of clean things up and not go overboard on this one. This bearing that's in here, it seems like it's okay. I don't feel a lot of play in it. Maybe a little bit. Just using Brake Clean. That's all that is. One other difference on this one, it has bolt-on bearings with a grease fitting. You can see the four, at least you can see three of the bolts. Bolt-on main bearings. So I'm going to grease those real quick, and if I can get this here. Just trying to see if I see any grease coming out. There might not come out on these. Might be sealed. I put about 5 pumps in there, and we'll do the same on this side. All right, about 5 pumps on this side too. And what I'll do is I'll show you. Yeah, see, I don't see the grease come out there. It's hard to say if it looks like it does come out on these, but some of the bearings you don't want to over grease them. So I think that'll be fine. But if you look at this one, it has weld-in bearings. That was the 2 kinds they had. You can see the weld right there. And these don't have any grease fittings on them, so you can't grease them. I'm not sure if you're welding in the bearing or if you're welding in like a sleeve around the bearing. I don't know. I was just reading on the website there for a super splitter. So either way, that's the other difference. And I'm not sure if it was like they changed it when it was newer, like a newer design, but either way, we got these greased up. And so yeah, like we'll do an oil change on this one just like the other one, and we're all set. And this one is pretty much serviced. We'll put new turn springs on it while I'm there. I'll get that. And other than that, Not much to it. Thanks for watching.